culture is actually
There's a man down.
Calling both games.
The sounds of fall, the crunch of shoulder pads, the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd after a great play. These are sounds you can enjoy as well this season, courtesy of SeatGeek, the sponsor of this video. What you're hearing is the sound of saving money on the resale market thanks to SeatGeek aggregating all tickets available on it. Look at how the app sorts all the options for your choosing from red to green on a 1 to 10 scale. Gaze at a preview from where you'll be sitting at the game. Here is your talisman, the promo code TREE. Use it to save $20 off your first purchase. Remember, this is only with SeatGeek. And only with SeatGeek can we continue on to the offerings of Week 3 football. If it were up to me, I would give both of these teams losses before the opening kickoff. However, that isn't able to happen, so we get this version of football hell. The question was such: who was going to lose this game? Joe Woods' porous defense or Matt Canada's bagged milk offense? Shockingly, there was some semblance of scoring in this game. It was truly incredible, but both teams kept looking behind themselves in the fear of blowing everything. Don't worry, Cleveland, you're playing the Steelers without TJ Watt. This rendition is puke held back by stubbornness and tradition. Nick Chubb and Jacoby Brissett played great games, and that's all they needed to win. Pittsburgh's game plan has been get bailed out by high-end talent for about a decade. It didn't happen here. As a result, Cleveland pulls away, despite making countless mistakes a real team would take advantage of. People in that city really think Canada's getting fired or Pickett's gonna start? These are the Steelers. They won't do a damn thing about it until February, when contracts conveniently expire. Like it would matter with this team anyway. Myles Garrett may be a hell of a player, but this past week showed us all the frailty of everything around us. Shortly after leaving practice on Monday, Garrett swerved to avoid an animal on a roadway, overcorrected, and his Porsche 911 rolled over multiple times. Fortunately, both he and the person he was with were wearing seatbelts, and suffered minor injuries despite the severity of the accident. To be frank, Garrett and the passenger are lucky to be alive. This easily could have been a hell of a lot worse. And it just shows the value of life itself. Cherish it. I, for one, am all in favor of simply allowing Philly to annex FedEx Field for their own. They do a better job playing there as well. What is defense? If you're a commie, you don't have enough manpower to simply throw waves of cannon fodder at the Eagles. Instead, Jalen Hurts and company will destroy this paper tiger faster than you can hand Jack Del Rio a pink slip. Carson Wentz had a chance at revenge against the team that cast him off, and he succeeded at bringing endless joy to the fans of the Eagles. His offensive line merely proved them all right by giving up 9 sacks. Another easy breeze of a win is Philly's reward. How's Ron Rivera as the new age Mike Shanahan working out for you, Washington? His seat better be searing right now. The Jets are eager to keep the momentum of a stunning victory up. However, there are several issues to announce. They aren't in Cleveland, they aren't starting Mike White, and Cincy already had their trap game last week. This is simply going to be a return to the on-field disaster that we know all too well. Did you seriously think Cincy was going to go 0-3 with that offensive talent? Joe Flacco had his moment of old glory, and now he's back to old Flacco, serving up flaccid arm punts to the opposition. The Bengals needed a punching bag after last week. The gods blessed them by getting it in you guys. However, if there is any good news, it's looking like Zach Wilson will be returning next week. Just in time for your traditional trap game against the Steelers. Sometimes you have to admit when you were wrong. I was willing to give the Saints a pass for last week's offensive ineptitude because of injuries. But what the hell happened here? I get Carolina's defense is nothing to scoff at, but to the point of doing next to nothing against it? Pure offensive failure. There was little else to say besides that. If Alvin Kamara wasn't fumbling away key points, the special teams unit was falling straight to the 7th circle of hell. When you don't score any of your own until the 4th quarter, that usually isn't the sign of a successful game. Even with his defense bailing him out for a week, Matt Rule will sit around and wonder how this is going to benefit their running game. The Saints just can't hope their defense shuts down opponents until their stars get healthy. They need to do something quick, lest another season be lost like dust in the wind. Welcome to the first unofficial Tank Bowl of the season. I say unofficial since tank bowls don't begin until about week 8 or so. Even if legitimacy in tanking will be contested, both teams embrace the spirit of chasing for the number 1 pick. This game could be called many things. Good football is not one of them. The only positive is that the Bears can run the ball with authority. And even that is to be questioned since the Texans are trying to chase Bryce Young like he's tail that just became legal. It's a comedy sketch. Justin Fields can't throw accurately, Houston can't throw for shit, defenses are merely benefiting from offensive incompetence, and few outside of these two markets give a shit about this game. However, this contest is tied at 20 deep in the 4th. Now we will see who cares more about securing the top pick.
Starting to rain at Soldier Field on 3rd and 1. Mills, pass deflected, intercepted! Roquan Smith!
Well done, Houston. You have successfully begun your quest to the ultimate tank. Please step aside and dream about the future as the Bears win ugly in the short term. You guys know the real goal, and I respect that. If Baltimore loses this game, John Harbaugh should be chucked into the Atlantic like he's tea imported from the British Empire. After last week's colossal choke, there will be no excuses for the Ravens if they lose here. I know New England is one of their oldest rivals and it's in Foxborough. We don't care. This team has Super Bowl aspirations. With Lamar Jackson turning into a man possessed by football demons eternal, he will stop at nothing to get what he wants in the end. The tug-of-war for supremacy in Foxborough was very real until the 3rd quarter. Someone blinked. This time it was the Patriots that self-destructed offensively. Not for the reasons you'd expect, but due to painful fumbles and Mac Jones regressing thanks to being led by a group of clowns. Rest easy, John. They won't chuck you into the Atlantic until you get back to the Inner Harbor. The Patriots, well, this does suck, but it's not the worst-case scenario for you guys. Okay, now it is. Brian Hoyer's 5th stint as Pats QB is about to begin. When the fuck did Detroit's offense get this good? Short sample size me all you want, but the Lions are pacing as one of the best offensive units in football, with Jared Goff as their QB. Is Dan Campbell simply Sean McVay in a muscle suit? Time will tell on that front. Detroit has a new god, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the son of Michigan. With this kind of power, they can keep pace with their former superiors in the NFC North. That includes Minnesota. They've been struggling, haven't they? After last week's humiliation in Philly, it seemed like there would be more of the same. Detroit's up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter. You know that the world would love to see the Lions emerge to greatness. The Vikings now lack star power. Dalvin Cook's out for the game. Minnesota may score a quick touchdown with Dalvin Cook's doppelganger, but Detroit's not going to blow it. They'll just fail to convert a 4th and 1 to bury their opponent. Sucks, but it's all good. They stopped their rival on their own 4th down conversion. Bold move. Now finish them, Detroit.
Kick on the way, and he pushed it wide right.
Really? This is how you want to be taken seriously? Assert yourselves for once!
Cousins. No! He's got it! Touchdown! It's Osborne again!
No, not like that! God damn it! I thought you were better than this, Lions. You were supposed to overcome shitty play calling, not reinforce it! Oh, if only this team had a defense to hold leads properly. The new question I'm asking, are the Vikings gonna finish with 3 wins or 13? People thought this was going to be an elite matchup a few weeks ago. If you were to tell people that both these teams would start 0-2, you'd have lost all credibility. Truth, however, is much stranger than fiction. It's not an exaggeration to say that this is must-win for both teams. Especially for the Titans, who still believe they can get back to what they squandered last year. With a 24-10 lead at halftime, all looks good, but something happens. Something the Titans have dealt with for a while. They can't finish off their opponent. Their offense stalled out. Once you stop Derrick Henry, Tennessee can do absolutely nothing. The Raiders aren't doing much either, but that fear keeps consuming them. Las Vegas is creeping back. You can feel such tension in the stadium, it's absolutely rigid. The turnover game may be lopsided for the Raiders, but it doesn't matter. With the Titans' offense unable to pass even a sliver of stool, the Silver and Black are pushing forward down only 1 score. They saw how they failed in Arizona. They want revenge.
Derek Carr, far corner in the end zone. Mac Hollins.
Don't start cheering yet. They need to go for 2 to tie.
On his 2-point conversion attempt. Carr throws, deflected, broken up.
Now you can start cheering. Last year, the Raiders would have won these games. However, that was under Rich Bisaccia. Now you get a guy who's 5-20 in his last 25 coached games. You wonder if Mark Davis has buyer's remorse about skinning the Patriots for their table scraps yet? It's cost them the last couple of weeks. As the Raiders fall to the only 0-3 team in football, Tennessee lives on. For now. Indianapolis, like Tennessee before them, is also in must-win territory. Their problem? They have to face off against Kansas City. They've destroyed their opponent so far, and the Colts look like roadkill. Without Shaq Leonard on their defense, their destruction is all but assured. On paper, this is why you have to play the games. Because if you don't, we can't witness the Chiefs' offense outright self-destruct when it comes to perform. Everything has been done to keep nudging Indy to do something against them. This is what happens when a team gets bored. They pile on amplifiers to the difficulty until it becomes impossible to win. Do you remember when everyone wondered why Eric Bieniemy hadn't gotten a head coaching job? We might know why now. He's adversarial with his talent. He overthinks situations just like Andy Reid. Reid knows all about choking at Lucas Oil Stadium, which is why we get utter failure in the red zone. Then drool on the play sheet by faking a field goal to totally fuck up the conversion. It's not all that terrible. Harrison Butker's out, so they would have missed the kick from there like they did the next time. The Colts have a chance to do the unthinkable. But Matt Ryan is sacked on third down. The refs then take center stage. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Chris Jones for talking smack after the play. Ridiculously soft-ass bullshit, but it gives Indy life. And they will march down the field, whittling down the clock to potentially save their day and their season all in one.
Here he goes from the 20. He throws it to the end zone. The Colts have taken the lead.
Redemption. Indianapolis overcomes certain failure with a shit ton of help from the opposition. I thought you were clean, Andy. Why did you regress to full read after all this time? Are you just doing it for your sick kicks? God damn it, I was gonna give you the most delicious cheeseburger after this win. Now you get nothing.
Say the line, Bart.
You blew it!
An epic duel of AFC East powerhouses. Unfortunately for us, the football gods added a mod that forced this game to be played in the equivalent of Hell's Armpit. Extreme fatigue and cramping were the names of the game here. Buffalo's down a shitload of key defenders in this match. Not to mention Micah Hyde's out for the year. Miami has their chance to usurp control of the division. It was almost unthinkable a few weeks ago, but the opportunity has presented itself nonetheless. What we have is a war of attrition. Who can overcome the elements in front of them? Will it be Josh Allen and his army of table smashers? Or the Tua truthers? They may be held back by a concussion to Tua, but with enough Toradol injected in him, he's ready to go after halftime. Buffalo is a slight lead into the second half, but offense has been very tough to come by. Both defenses have come to play today. They'll make sure every inch is earned on this humid battlefield. Despite this conflict, the greatest wounds might be self-inflicted, as Tyler Bass misses a mid-range field goal to give Miami life. In a further testament to his haters losing ground, Tua throws a beautiful spiral on 3rd and long to give Miami not only momentum, but the lead itself. However, you can't count out Buffalo. They're out for blood, and that just happens to include the suckers facing them. These prisoners will be nice for future sacrifice at home. Bills Mafia pushes to the goal line, but they can't get past this fortification. 4th down is upon them. Can they break it?
4th and goal, and he throws short, incomplete.
Josh Allen's heroics couldn't lift that pass to an open receiver. Pity. They'll need the defense to stand tall, and they do. But scoring is a different beast entirely.
I don't know, this is risky. And it was blocked. Oh my goodness! Blocked indeed!
Or we will receive the greatest bounty. Eureka! We have found the ultimate meme! Butt Punt! The modern meme play for a modern world. Not only does it allow Mark Sanchez to wipe his brow, it allows the Bills to win this with a field goal. With the ball back and no timeouts, time is of the essence. The sands of the hourglass continue to fall.
Allen, up, grabbed, gets away! Oh my goodness, how did he is steep. It goes off to McKenzie. He'll drive and dance. The clock continues to tick. He picks up 11. The clock is at 5. The clock is at 3. Miami's won. Zeros on the clock.
Man, ain't that a gut punch. Do everything you can to win, yet you lose due to shit luck. Ken Dorsey agrees with the sentiment in the press box. To be honest, I don't blame him for flipping out after this revelation. In different circumstances with a healthy defense and better weather conditions, the Bills probably win this. All the credit in the world to the Dolphins, but this is going to sting in Buffalo for a while. It'll be a bit before you can get revenge, but the weather advantage will be on your side by then. But this is Miami's time to shine. They are now kings of the East. Strange to say. Is Jacksonville for real? Or are the Chargers just fucked beyond all hope? That's the question I've been asking myself since this game was played. It was unthinkable. Traveling to the West Coast is the equivalent of death for the Jags. They had lost 18 straight road games. If they not only won against the Chargers, they obliterated their opponent, convincingly suffocating them on all fronts, with Trevor Lawrence slowly chipping away at his sky-high potential every week. I wish I had good news for the team that should be in San Diego, but I don't. Everyone's in the infirmary. Justin Herbert should be in one, but they know he's the only way they're going to win anything. Yet the injuries keep coming. You honestly hate to see it, unless you're in San Diego. With this win, however, Doug Peterson has earned a glorious honor, tying Urban Meyer for the 5th most wins by a coach in Jags history. Honestly, these games have made Urban's tenure look even worse. Let's look in at Cliff Kingsbury's offensive game plan for his hand-cultivated Cardinals. Yes, just hope that Kyler Murray bails out his incompetence with backyard football and elite talent. It worked against the shitty Raiders, why wouldn't it work again? They're playing a team that consistently owns them in the Rams. They're defensively sound, you say? It doesn't matter. Arizona won't change a damn thing to try and overcome these issues. Just hope Kyler somehow wills the team to a win. LA's offense wasn't even good in this contest. Yet Cliff thinking that this is an online match in Madden hampered any chance of doing anything. Maybe justice will be served for the hire that should have never happened, but we know that's a pipe dream. Kyler will fluke his way to at least 4 wins on his own before that happens. The Rams pretty much got a free win. You could technically call this another unofficial tank poll, but then Seattle's coaching staff would hunt me down to have a chat in the trunk of a car. They're still pretending like they can win, goddammit! To be fair, both teams are. They're trying to solidify job security, so this will be a fight for victory. This is what football's all about, baby. Touchdowns will be thrown. Great plays will be made. Drones will be flown over the field in an effort to save us from an outcome. We've reached the 4th quarter with the Falcons in the lead, but alas! They fumble away an opportunity to seal the game. If they blow another lead, no matter how small, Atlanta will never hear the end of it. The defense has to make a stop. Or a yellow flag on the field for holding will, but a chance for Seattle to steal a win is still available.
Geno Smith, a lot of room to run, but he needs that first down, throws it a crowd, and it's intercepted.
Baby steps, Atlanta. You didn't blow a game. Don't overwhelm yourself, just get the small tasks out of the way. That is the only way to a full recovery. You can do it, Falcons. I wonder if Tampa Bay is going to find their next batch of receivers on a reality TV show. Mike Evans is suspended, Julio Jones and Chris Godwin are out, and Gronk's gone on a 6-year bender. Fortunately for the Bucs, their defense is still fucking incredible. They've clamped down on their opponents, and Green Bay is no exception. They also lack a thing called reliable wideouts, and that Stone Cold D will make sure that any yardage gained will be done in pain. The Packers rushed out to an early lead, but against Tampa in Tampa? No luck in trying to escape easily. They're going to have to work for their win. Apparently nobody can hold on to the football these days, fumbling the rock like it's fresh out of a searing broiler. The turnovers were furious, but after that, a duel of defense. Headed into the final drive of the game, Tom Brady knows a thing or two about these heroics. His body may be withering and he may have no receivers, but by God, he will get them to the promised land come hell or high water.
Play clock at 1. Get it off. Brady throwing end zone. It is caught for the touchdown.
See what I mean? Now, as long as they get the 2 points, a second delay of game on a 2-point conversion in 2 weeks? What the hell?
Pressure. Steps away. Throwing tip. Incomplete. The Packers are going to win it.
Green Bay hangs on by the skin of their teeth. A brilliant defensive contest leads Tom Brady to a bitter defeat. The hell do you think you are, Tom? Kyler Murray? That delay of game penalty probably fucked you over in the end. Now beat it back to your Charmin soft division. This was a game. It's the only thing I can say with certainty. When you cross a self-described offensive genius and a coach who's so inept at game management he has to hire outside help to make sure he doesn't fuck it up, you get an absolute affront to anything resembling offense. There are coaches from the 1970s facepalming in disgust over what they're seeing in this contest. USFL matches showcased more competence in this regard than seen here. Sunday Night Football turned into a Benny Hill sketch. Missed passes, drops galore, fumbles, 3 and outs, and the occasional outstanding defensive play. Both of these teams can at least offer that. Denver's is the only reason why they're not staring down the barrel of 0-3. Perhaps Jimmy G will save us all from this horror.
Second and 10 from his own end zone. Ball's out of the end zone to safety.
Jimmy Jesus rose on the third day to simply commit an Orlovsky. Stepped out of the end zone for a safety, almost doubling Denver's point total. However, great fears must eventually be realized. San Francisco actually managed to kick a field goal to go up by 5. After more terrible offense and Russell Wilson hearkening back to the days of bailing out the incompetence of everyone around him, Denver must overcome their boogeyman, scoring a touchdown in the red zone. The greatest phobia must be conquered.
Extra offensive line. Wilson gets Gordon, touchdown, Denver!
Oh my God, Denver, you did it! You scored a touchdown in the red zone! This is the most glorious miracle your franchise has ever received. Another ridiculously ugly win to bring Denver to a tie for the division lead. Defense led the day for you, Broncos. You may not have gotten Aaron Rodgers from the Packers, but you got the Mike McCarthy spirit from them. You know damn well what I mean by that. Speak of the devil, it's Mike McCarthy's team in a game broadcast by Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. It's not in Dallas, but we can compromise. The Giants are trying to rebuild decaying and shattered foundations, and you can see glimpses of a better tomorrow. However, when you think they have a chance to emerge into something better over these past few years, they come up short in nearly every category. The run defense was gashed by Zeke and Tony Pollard. Evan Neal was turned into a goddamn saloon door by edge rushers all night. Kenny Golladay talks about being disrespected, yet is completely useless when he's on the field. Ref ball fucks them over at the worst possible times. Their quarterback is Daniel Jones. He's running for his life most of the game, but he's still Daniel Jones. He'll always keep you wanting more out of him. You just can't do it. That's the story of the Giants. Put up a good fight, but in the end, just can't overcome their hated rival. 17 unanswered points lead the Cowboys to victory. To make things worse, Danny had his patented deflating turnover on the final drive. And they lost Sterling Shepard. It's a shame to see. Wait a minute, how the hell is Dallas 2-1 without Dak? Who to pick for Local Cow of the Week? There are so many options to choose from. Jimmy G for stepping out of the end zone, the entirety of the Chiefs special teams unit, Kenny Golladay, and the Butt Punt. They all deserve this dubious honor. But for this week, I'm going to the college ranks to find my target. Appalachian State. Yes, the same team giving fans heart attacks with insane ending after insane ending promised them a quiet, tranquil game against James Madison. However, the Mountaineers fucked up. You know why? Look at that score. Do you see what it says? They should have immediately known the dangers of a 28-3 lead, yet they failed to heed its warnings. Predictably, the Mountaineers do nothing on offense for the rest of the game, and James Madison proceeds to score 29 unanswered points. Appalachian State loses. A truly stark warning to all those that ignore the prophecy of the choking falcon. And a worthy recipient of Lolcow of the Week. Butt Punt and Jimmy G were very close, though. Football is a brutal game. May the bell toll for the fallen.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Thus concludes another week of this sermon on the field. Amen.
They're out of timeouts, but then a field goal beats you. I don't know. This is risky. And it was blocked.
Oh my goodness! Blocked indeed. Let's see if we can get a. Oh, it hit
his own guy.
the personal protector. Sherfield hit his behind.
Well, I just got through saying instead of 15 yards, it's a 10 yards. So
Exactly.
everybody's got to adjust to the fact it's in a confined space.
It was not blocked at all.